get to her tough side if she can help it.
Yeah, there's this kind of crass line in Washington that terrorist attacks help Republicans. But David, we've seen enough terrorist attacks in the last 6 months to have some evidence. Is that really true?
Well, historically, it's been true. This is a weird year, and a weird sort of Republican Party now led by Donald Trump. I do think my general rule of politics in general presidential elections is that voters go for the person who promises the most order. And so in 2008, John McCain was suspending his campaign. He seemed disorderly. Barack Obama seemed calm and smooth. He seemed orderly. 2004, George W. Bush seemed orderly, the force of order against terror, and John Kerry less so. In this campaign, as EJ elucidated, we have two different sorts of order. We have the muscular machismo of Trump versus the more steady, experienced, calm, and predictability of Clinton. And those are two promises of different kinds of orderliness. People have enough risks in their life. When they vote for president, I think they want someone where the downside is relatively limited.
Well, we had expected a big announcement from the Trump campaign today about who his vice president would be. It ended up leaking yesterday that it was Mike Pence. He postponed the announcement. The ceremony will be tomorrow. He announced it on Twitter today. So after all of that, EJ, what does the knowledge that Trump has chosen Pence, the Indiana governor, bring to our understanding of his ticket?
Well, I think Donald Trump did just as everybody said he's done. He picked a safe choice. He picked a traditional choice. Pence won't hurt him too much, except among social liberals who are already on the attack. He may help him with Republican politicians and some conservatives. But I also think the choice of Pence is a sign of real weakness, because there were many Republicans who could have helped Trump far more. I think just for a couple, John Kasich and Rob Portman of Ohio. But so many Republicans said that they didn't want to run with Trump that he was reduced in the end to Pence, the safe, very conservative guy, Chris Christie, or Newt Gingrich. And Newt, never let it be said that Newt is bereft of self-awareness. He made this wonderful statement where he said he and Trump would constitute a two-pirate ticket. They were both pirates, whereas Pence was a relatively stable, more normal person. And that's who he picked.
David, CNN and NBC are each reporting that as late as midnight last night, Trump was making calls asking if he could get out of the Pence choice. Not something that we've independently confirmed, but what do you make of this?
He's shambolic. And even after announcing the choice, they didn't update the website. They didn't have talking points to the press. They didn't have all the normal things that a campaign does, because this is not a normal campaign. I'm tremendously interested to see if we see this shambolic disorganization flow into the convention next week. That'll be, to me, one of the big stories of the convention.
Well, they already had a couple people who were listed on the speaker's roster pull out.
Right, I'm mourning the law.
Who's on a quest to save her younger sister from FGM. The other main protagonist in the play is Ikra, who's just arrived to Britain from Somalia. Charlene James tells us more about the storyline, and you will hear excerpts, but just to warn you, there's some rather graphic details described.
It's about a girl who is on a quest to save her sister from being cut, because she's had that happen to her. She's got nobody to speak about it. She's got two best friends, but they're not from that culture, so she's got no outlet to say, look, this is what's happening. She meets a girl who's newly from Somalia that she finds that she can have that bond with, and Ikra is new, she hasn't made friends, and that's a bond that she's really hoping to make a friendship of.
It is better for her that she gets cut now, rather than later. Later will be painful for her.
But now what, Ikra? She's 6 years old. You think she's not going to feel anything?
It is much better when they are young.
Better for who? For the elders who are going to pin her down? Is it them who you think is best for, because she ain't got that much fight in her? Let me ask you this. Is it better that they got me young too? Women that I'm supposed to look up to and trust, throwing me down, pinning me on the hard floor with their vice grip hands. Was that supposed to be better for me? Pulling up my dress and having her cut me? Having her mutilate me? I tell you now, none of that was best for me, and none of that's going to be best for my sister. Do you understand?
It has to be done.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why does it have to be done?
Because you are Muslim.
Ain't got nothing to do with being Muslim.
It is important for you to be clean.
There's nothing in the Quran about cutting up girls so they can stay clean. This is something your mum told you, because that's what her mum told her, and hers before that. Just some messed up tradition that needs to be broken.
No.
Yes.
If she does not have it down, she will not become a decent woman.
Do you know my sister? Have you met my sister? That little girl is more than decent. She's perfect just the way she is. So don't chat to me about growing up to be a decent woman. A decent woman in whose eyes?
In the eyes of our community.
So you think it's really okay what they did to you? What they did to me? What they're still doing to all those other little girls?
It is not about being wrong or right. Who are we to question it? It is just what has to happen.
Who are we to question it?
For the first time out loud, I hear how that sounds.
Who are we not to question it?
And then we go on to discover that that friendship may never happen because of what danger her sister's in. I think it ends there of, you know, of what that relationship between the girls, what happens there and what happens to her sister, and, you know, that moment of can she save her in time.